What it do, guys? It's your girl Drea coming to you with another video. And so today we're going to be talking about the 2022 reset for the year. I've seen a lot of videos about resetting for the new year and new goals and trends and things that people wanted to do. And normally I actually do make a list of all the things that I want to accomplish and goals and New Year's resolutions. However, this year I've been, I don't even want to say busy, I've just been not motivated to do any of those things. And so I sat down today and I was like, okay, what are the things that I need to put on my outlook or in my view of what are some marks I want to hit. I've created a financial goal for the next 5 years. I did that 2 years ago, so obviously that's already been set, and I'm able to make, so far I've been able to make half of my goals, the other half not so much. I do think there is an importance in planning and executing and writing things down, but if you don't have any motivation to do those things, don't force yourself, because I feel like what you'll end up doing is you'll write things down that you're really not passionate about, and you'll force yourself to do the motion, but you won't so much believe in what you're putting down. So wait until you are in a good mental space before you start writing down all of your 2022 plans and everything that you actually really want to execute. But here are my 5 that I'm working on this year. So let's get in it. So the first thing, also, I'm writing them down in my plan and execute hardcover journal. You guys can get this from my website, gotlygorgeous.com, where I'm selling these. I'm obsessed with them. They're just lined paper. They're not doing too much. They're not going to walk you through 100 things. You put what you want to put in here. It's not a planner. It's not a journal. It's just what you want to make it out to be. It's up to you. Just know you need to plan and execute for anything in your life. So definitely check this out on my website. So the first thing I put on here is to journal. I think with being inside and not being able to go out as much, not being able to interact with people, there's so many thoughts I feel like I have, and I feel like I waste a lot of my thoughts on tweets. I'm always tweeting something, and I feel like half of the time, if I would just journal it, write it down, get it out, I can just move past it. And so another reason why I created this plan and execute journal is so I can actually write down whatever I'm feeling. So one thing I want to get back into doing is journaling. The second thing is working out, and not so much going to the gym. I want to be able to use my own space to work out, as in I want to be able to stretch at home, do an at-home video, to where I'm not so forced on outside factors of oh, it's raining outside, oh, it's cold, or oh, they don't have childcare at this time. I want to get into a routine where I can use my own space to actually work out. I can use my own space to stretch and meditate and do what I need to do. I feel like the less we rely on outside factors, especially in this pandemic, the better we are. So the more you can do things from home, the more things you can DIY right now, it's probably the best thing. I really wish I could garden and have a whole vegetable and fruit garden. I wouldn't have to worry about if I go to the grocery store, there's gonna be some strawberries. But that's for another year. That is not on my list. The next thing is plan my week out. And so if you don't know, I do run my website, my Etsy shop. I do some graphics for the church. I do a lot of freelance work, but I run my business in a sense of I wake up and then I'm I think I'm gonna make a graphic today. I need to do some social media work, and that's not working. It's not working. I have too many outside factors and my children. There's too much going on to where I am waking up and trying to plan my day. Got to stop that ASAP. And so I want to start planning my week out. Not only do I have planners and notepads for that, one thing that has been super helpful, and I'll show it to you guys and I'll let you know halfway through the year how it's working out, is I have been using Google Calendar to have my whole week, well, this was just actually for the day, planned out hour by hour. I really want to get into schedule blocking, and I want to show you guys a notepad that I actually have that is so perfect for if you are a pencil and pen type of person. Definitely look into this option. This is my daily planner, and the cool thing about this, it has 6 a.m. all the way down to 8 p.m. and so I actually use this a lot to schedule out my hours, and sometimes I'll write it down if I have the time. I'll take it and put it in my Google Calendar. The thing about the Google Calendar I love, as well as like if obviously Jamal, he doesn't know what I have going at a certain time of the day, he can always check the Google Calendar and know, okay, this is what's happening in the household or things like that. I have to schedule out time for the boys because I still watch my 2-year-old son all day at home while my 4-year-old is in pre-K. So really need to start blocking out hour per hour. And then I also have to understand it is tentative. I did try it out yesterday. Lunches ran over, other weird stuff kind of happened, but for the most part I was able to schedule time where I'm like, all right, Andrea, this is for designing, this is for blogging, this is for graphics, or anything in that block I can use that time for. Like forcing myself to sit down and do something at a certain time can be super helpful. Next thing, read and study my Bible more. This is something that I know I need to do, and I don't do a good job of doing it. And I want to get back to the fact, I'm looking at my Bible now and I'm just realizing I didn't even know it was in my office. I didn't even know where that Bible was. I think we have electronics on our phone that are great. Study guides are great. You're also talking to someone who runs her own stationery print shop. There is something just about highlighting God's word. You know what I mean? Like circling something or like filling the pages. I just feel like there's just this thing, and I've got to get back to not relying on my phone to do my messages or studying God's word. I feel like I need to go back to an actual Bible. So I just ordered, I'll link it here too, I just ordered a new Bible that's the English translation, something like that, but I'll put the correct one on the bottom of the screen. And I used to always be against this. I used to be like, no, God's word has to be the King James version, and I don't want all these different versions. Yeah, that's old me. New me, I like this. I actually like this translation. I've been looking at a few Bible verses and like comparing them between the King James and the English Standard Translation. I also really like the Message version. They didn't have that one at an affordable price on Amazon, so we went with the other option. However, I like being able to really connect. And I think there's nothing wrong if you still feel connected to a King James version. Stick with your King James. Whatever gets you to crack that Bible open and studying it and reading it, it's like a win. And so I'm really hoping once I get this new Bible in, I'll do an update on this video. I'm hoping that having that will not only motivate me, it'll just seem more clear. So that's one of mine. Plan out thoughtful activities and material. So when I was at home with Jeremiah, I had a clipboard and I had all of our activities that we were going to do, and I felt like I was more organized in the sense of making sure he was hitting his milestones, making sure he knew what he needed to know. And while yes, I probably overdid it just a little bit, to where now he asks me all the time, what we gonna do today? What are new activities? I'm like, mommy has nothing planned and this is too much. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Obviously they don't understand that, but I want to get back to the point where I'm not just playing with my children. I'm actually like, this was a scheduled activity where I'm like, today we're going to paint, and we're gonna like, I'm gonna paint a circle, I'm gonna paint a triangle, and I'm gonna paint a square, and I want you guys to try to, you know, emulate that on your piece of paper. You guys try to trace the circle or whatever it is. I want it to be more intentional rather than me just, I don't know, find something to do today. Obviously there is some value in them being bored and figuring out what to do, and my kids actually have no problem with that. Like their abstract play is off the roof. I'm not worried about that, but I do think there is something important about scheduling out time with your children to do a certain thing or activity. You know what it's for. Like we're painting so we can know colors, we're doing our letters so we can know letters, you know what I mean? So that's something I'm definitely focusing on for 2022. My last thing It's very emotional to me, and it's not give up on my dreams. I don't know about y'all, but this pandemic, this whole new like lifestyle we're all in, it's so easy for, at least for me, to just give up. Lately I feel like before I was more of a go-getter. Now I have no motivation to do really anything, and I have to realize when my numbers don't look well on whatever I'm doing, that doesn't mean to stop doing it. It just means to keep pushing through, because there's other things you can do when your business does slow down. Businesses slow down all the time. I've worked for a big corporation where they'll be like, yeah, business is slow right now, so this is what we do. And I feel like I forget that with my own small business, because I'm like looking at social media and everybody else's business is blowing up. It's like, well, why am I growing? It's like, well, you grew last year. So maybe this is the year that you work on branding and you redesign some projects. When business is slow, you work on other things. And so my biggest thing this year is that even though it may not look like I'm winning, I need to still fight. I need to still drive like there is a hunger out there for me to win. You know what I mean? I feel like the moment you win so many races, eventually once you start losing them, you're like, well, was I even fast anyway? Was I even good at this? And it's like, yes you were. Keep trying and don't give up. Well guys, that is it for this video. I hope you found some encouraging things, some new things you may want to try, or just some nice entertainment on what the George Family Fun Godly Gorgeous is doing for 2022. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe. It helps this channel out tremendously, and I will see you all in the next video.